Discover the incredible love story that changed lives, revealed after 50 years of separation. In the small town of Maplewood, where colorful bunting flapped in the warm summer breeze, Lily Thompson's heart raced with a mix of dread and excitement. At 68, she had weathered storms that would crush the spirit of many, yet life's unpredictable whims still stirred something deep within her. It was the eve of the annual summer festival, a day that ignited memories of laughter and yearning for what once was. Each morning, Lily woke before dawn, her weathered hands bustling through the motions of 2 part-time jobs just to keep food on the table for her daughter, Ella. The sound of the cash register chiming at the local diner served as a backdrop to her memories of youthful love. Tom, her high school sweetheart, had always been her spark until fate intervened. When Tom enlisted in the military after a family tragedy, he took her heart with him, leaving Lily to navigate life alone. Now, as she baked pies for the festival, the sweet scent mixed with the poignant ache of lingering dreams just as she sensed a respite, the festival buzz reached a fever pitch, the laughter of children, the sizzling of hot dogs, the chatter amongst neighbors weaving their lives together like patchwork. Lily's chest tightened at every smile, every joy shared. But beneath the surface, her own struggles festered, the unshakable worries that each paycheck wouldn't stretch far enough, that Ella's dreams of college might slip away like sand through her fingers. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the festival roared to life, the unexpected drift of nostalgia hit Lily harder than the summer heat. Her heart raced again when she heard whispers of Tom's return. The townsfolk spoke of him as a living legend, brave and humble, his sacrifices etched into Maplewood's identity. And just like that, a flicker of hope burned bright amidst her doubts. The evening's fireflies danced like stars as the community gathered for a charity event honoring veterans. And there, amidst the crowd, Tom stood, so different yet achingly familiar. His face was worn, time casting shadows where laughter once lived. Memories crashed over her like waves, raising a tide of confusion and longing. Suddenly, their eyes locked across the bustling square, igniting feelings long buried. Yet she hesitated. Tom wasn't he the boy she once knew, and she wasn't he the girl who waved him off with a smile into the unknown. How could she risk warming a heart that had once set her aflame but had also left her to shoulder the burdens of the world alone? Just then, a chilling revelation surfaced about Tom's past, one that threatened their fragile connection. In that moment, tangled between memories and the stark realities of their lives, a deeper question loomed: was it worth risking everything for a chance at rekindled love? As fireworks illuminated the night sky, would they find the courage to heal old wounds or get swallowed by the weight of what once was? The laughter and chatter around Lily seemed to fade as the world narrowed to just her and Tom. Her heart thudded in her chest, each beat a reminder of the years that had passed, the smiles they used to share, and the dreams that had withered in his absence. The glow of fireworks flickered above them, casting glimmers of light on faces both familiar and foreign. Tom had returned, and suddenly all the memories flooded back: joyful moments, whispered secrets, and a love that was once so vibrant, but the weight of her current life pressed down on her. Ella's needs, her ever-growing list of responsibilities. Could she even entertain the idea of reclaiming a piece of her past? Tom shifted slightly, his eyes searching the crowd, and instinctively, Lily turned away, hiding her turmoil behind a facade of normalcy. She forced a smile at a nearby vendor, admiring the handmade crafts. Yet her heart ached, craving something she hadn't thought she'd ever want again. Lily? The deep, warm voice broke through her thoughts, and she froze. It was him, standing so close she could see the silver strands in his hair, the way the years had etched lines on his face. "It's really you," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief and warmth. Gathering her courage, she met his gaze. "Tom," she breathed, vulnerabilities laid bare between them. Each syllable felt like a war drum, echoing the memories she tried to suppress. In that moment, all reservations crumbled. "You're back. I didn't expect to see you here," he admitted, a hint of uncertainty lacing his tone. Yet his eyes sparkled with a mixture of fondness and respect, as if they had shared 1,000 sunsets together, even if those sunsets were now shadowed by looming regrets. "Life has been different," Lily replied, her voice barely a whisper. "You know how it is." His brow furrowed slightly, concern washing over his features. "I know some things can't be undone. But I'm here now, and I want to make things right." The earnestness in his plea sent warmth crawling up her spine, igniting flickers of hope she thought were long extinguished. But just as quickly, fear flickered in, clouding her mind. Could she really trust him again? Was it reasonable to wish for a brighter future, considering all the pain they had both endured? Emotions wrestled within her, and before she could answer, a burst of applause erupted nearby as the fireworks exploded into a magnificent display of color. She drew in a sharp breath, captivated by the beauty above, but her heart lay heavy with uncertainty below. "I have so much to tell you," Tom urged, his voice rich with longing. "Can we talk, just the two of us?" With a glance back at Ella, who was spinning in circles with the other children, Lily found herself at a crossroads, caught between the echoes of a cherished past and the reality of her present. The festival light sparkled like promises yet to be fulfilled as she considered his proposal. What if this was a chance to reclaim what had been lost? But would either of them be ready to confront the shadows of their choices? Before she could think too long, her heart took the lead as she nodded ever so slightly. "All right, let us talk." As they stepped away from the crowd, a mixture of trepidation and excitement churned in her stomach. What would this conversation unravel? What truths lay hidden beneath a lifetime of silence? With every step they took, doubts collided with hope, and she realized something crucial: perhaps it was time to unearth the past, to heal old wounds together. Could love transcend the years, the mistakes, the silence? The answer loomed like the fireworks fading against the night sky, but before she could voice her thoughts, a new truth surfaced, something else she hadn't anticipated. Buried within her heart, a question began to form: what if they were not alone in their journey toward healing? A familiar face appeared in the distance, and as it edged closer, Lily felt her heart skip a beat, for now, everything held infinite possibilities. As she strayed from the sea of laughter and lights, Lily felt a whirlwind of emotions colliding within her. The air buzzed with memories from a time when her life felt less complex. She could still hear the faint whispers of kids giggling as they chased each other, the vivid colors of the festival blending into a dreamscape where pain seemed far away. "We could go somewhere quieter," Tom suggested, his voice breaking through her thoughts. They moved toward a small grove, its shadows inviting them into an intimate cocoon away from prying eyes. "Yeah, that sounds good," she managed, even as uncertainty gnawed at her. As Tom leaned against the rough bark of an old oak, the reality of their dimensional separation settled heavily. It felt surreal, standing there with him. What should she even say? "You look different," he observed, a small smile creeping up his face, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Yeah, parenting changes you. Life, it challenges you," Lily replied, her gaze dropping to the ground, the warmth of the day turning cool with the fading light. She brushed a loose strand of hair behind her ear, suddenly self-conscious of the years that had transformed her, adding worry lines and dark circles from sleepless nights. Tom shifted closer, the gap between them shrinking, yet she could still sense the emotional chasm that existed. "I always wondered about you. How you were doing," he admitted. "Same here," she whispered, holding back tears. The weight of his absence loomed large. It wasn't just the man she had lost, but the dreams they once shared. "Do you remember the time we stole that boat and ended up paddling in circles for hours?" He laughed, but there was a sadness in his laughter. "Yes," she chuckled softly, the sound heavy with nostalgia. "You were so convinced you could steer." Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world outside their little bubble blurred into nothingness. "What happened to us?" Tom asked gently. "To the plans we made?" Lily felt a tightness in her throat. You know what happened, she replied, her voice trembling with unshed tears. You left, we drifted apart. Life didn't wait for us to catch up. But I'm back now, he said, his voice brimming with resolve. I want to fix things. Fixing things, could that even be done? A chill breeze swept through the grove, and as if on cue, a shroud of silence enveloped them. The laughter faded away, replaced by the distant sound of fireworks that sparked golden showers against the darkening sky. I'm not sure I can, she said, unwrapping her inner turmoil. It's been so long, Tom. I've built a life here, Ella needs me. I understand. I don't want to complicate things for you, he replied, his eyes reflecting a storm of emotions. I just want you to know I'm here, and I'm willing to be part of your life again if you let me. Her mind raced. Could she open that door again? Could she risk her heart for another chance? The truth was, she was scared not just of him but of herself, too. What if their love rekindled, only to be snuffed out again by old fears and new responsibilities? Before she could wrestle with her thoughts further, Tom stepped even closer, warmth radiating from him like a beacon in the chilly evening air. Lily, he whispered, almost reverently, I want you back in my life, however that may look. But I need to know, do you feel anything for me? Or is the past entirely behind you? The question hung in the air, and Lily felt her heart race, a surge of emotions crashing through her. Could their past be rekindled? So lost in his gaze, she hardly noticed the figure approaching from behind, until she heard a little voice break the silence. Mom. Who is that? Lily's heart dropped as she turned around, realizing their private moment was intruded upon, and with it came the risk of everything changing once more. What would she say? How would Tom react? The future lay uncertain before her, with choices spiraling out of control. Lily's heart sank as Ella appeared, her small frame a mix of innocence and curiosity against the dimming light. Mom. Who is that? She repeated, her eyes darting between Lily and Tom. Lily glanced at Tom, whose expression shifted from surprise to apprehension. He opened his mouth but then closed it, struggling to find words amidst the unexpected revelation. That's Lily stammered, her mind racing to frame the right introduction. Ella, this is Tom. He used to be a friend. A friend? Ella's brow furrowed, and Lily could see a flicker of confusion etched across her young face. Is he the one you always talk about? The question hung in the air like a fragile thread, and Tom looked at Lily, urging her with his gaze to clarify. I mean, her voice faltered, I used to know him really well. Like, best friends? Ella pressed, her innocent curiosity sharp with the unease of the adult world she had yet to fully understand. Tom chuckled lightly, but it was laced with tension. Better than best friends, he said softly, his eyes searching Lily's, as if trying to gauge just how deep the shadows between them ran. Lily felt a knot tighten in her stomach. Could she face the truth, or would it only hurt Ella? We were very close once, but life took us in different directions. I was sad when he left. Why did he leave? Ella asked, her voice steady and demanding, innocent yet piercing. Sometimes people have to go away to find themselves, Lily replied, wishing she could weave a narrative that avoided all the heartache. Ella's small hand instinctively reached for Lily's, squeezing it tight. And now he is back. Yes, he is, Lily confirmed, feeling a mix of hope and dread. Tom knelt down, matching Ellie's gaze. I came back because I wanted to see your mom again. I've missed her a lot, he admitted, the sincerity in his voice palpable. Lily looked away, heart racing. She wished she had the clarity Ella deserved. But it's complicated, sweetheart. It's not just about me and him. Ella tilted her head, searching for reassurance in her mother's eyes. Can't you both just be friends again? I want to get to know him. Tom smiled gently at Ella, but Lily felt his anxiety swirl around them. Maybe that's a good idea, she said hesitantly, but felt the words slip through her fingers like grains of sand that made her heart ache. But it's not that easy. The laughter and bright colors of the festival felt like a world away. The distant sounds of joy faded into muted echoes in her mind. "We have to think about this, okay?" she managed, feeling lost herself. "Okay," Ella replied, but she looked unconvinced. Tom stood, tension easing a little as he took a step back. "I understand if you need more time. I'm not here to overwhelm you." There was a weight of longing in his gaze, a mix of hope and fear that crumbled her defenses. Could she truly open this door again, with Ella standing at the threshold? As the sun dipped lower in the sky, shadows lengthened around them, and uncertainty crept back in. The fireworks crackled above, bright and chaotic, their colorful bursts illuminating the heavy air. In that moment, she felt the entire future stretch before her like an open sea. "Tom, can you give us some space?" she asked, her voice steadier than she felt. "Just for now." He nodded slowly, though disappointment flickered in his eyes. "Of course. I'll be around whenever you're ready." As he stepped away, Lily turned to Ella, who still looked perplexed but also strangely excited. "What do you want to know about him?" Lily asked, trying to redirect the conversation, but her heart was not quite in it. "I want to know everything." Ella beamed. "Can we ask him to tell us about the boat he stole?" Lily couldn't help but smile at her daughter's eagerness and innocence that felt like a precious gift. Yet, lurking beneath the surface was a feeling of apprehension that wrapped around her like a cloak. What had she done? The past was reawakening, and the choices she faced felt more tangled than ever. As fireworks exploded, painting the night sky, Lily felt a flicker of hope and dread intertwined. What waited for her in the embrace of rekindled memories? The answer felt as distant as the fireworks, beautiful yet fleeting. With every heartbeat, the stakes grew higher. Would they truly navigate this turbulent ocean, or would everything drown in the weight of their shared history? The night seemed to stretch on, the explosion of colors from the fireworks above contrasting sharply with the internal turmoil swirling within Lily. She wanted to protect Ella, to shield her from the mess of emotions Tom stirred inside her, yet part of her couldn't resist the pull of nostalgia, a longing for the shared moments that now felt like faded photographs. "Mom." Ella's voice broke through Lily's thoughts. The innocence in her question brought a glimpse of clarity. "Is it okay if we go talk to him? I really want to know what he's like." Lily hesitated. Could she allow Ella to bond with Tom, knowing how complicated everything was? But that little spark of joy in Ella's eyes was too hard to ignore. Maybe they could find a way to navigate this together, one step at a time. "All right," she finally replied, her heart pounding. "But just for a little while." As they made their way through the festival, the thrumming bass of music and laughter pulsing all around them felt surreal, almost like a movie backdrop. The smell of popcorn and cotton candy filled the air. Everywhere she looked, couples embraced amidst laughter and firework displays. Yet, Lily couldn't shake the weight wedged inside her chest. When she spotted Tom leaning against a wooden beam, his expression shifted from one of waiting uncertainty to an immediate softness as he saw them approach. Ella, buoyed by curiosity, darted ahead, her small feet carrying her toward him with unbridled excitement. "Hi, Tom," Ella said brightly, her voice echoing through the cheers of the festival goers. "Can you tell me about the boat?" Tom chuckled, his smile genuine. "The boat, huh? Well, it's a funny story." He knelt down again, bringing himself to her level. The tension from before seemed to melt away, replaced by this momentary connection. "So, I was on this big lake with my friends." Lily watched as Tom animatedly recounted his misadventure, his hands gesturing wildly, transforming the mundane into something magical for Ella. Each time she heard him laugh or witnessed the sparkle in his eyes, it tugged at the corners of her heart. But with every burst of laughter from her daughter, a subtle shift weighed on Lily. She watched as Tom became captivated by Ella's questions, a lingering warmth filling the space between their shared past and present. Could it truly be that simple again? After a few minutes, Tom paused and looked up at Lily, searching her face for encouragement. "I hope this is okay," he said softly, his voice dropping a notch. She's amazing. She is, Lily replied, a bittersweet smile crossing her lips, but just as the moment felt perfect, doubt crept back in like a shadow refusing to leave. What if this wasn't a good idea? What if their past caught up with them? What if Ella got hurt? The laughter of the festival faded as she glanced away. Mom. Ella's voice broke through again. Can we ask him more questions? Lily took a deep breath, reminding herself she couldn't protect Ella from growth or connections. Okay, a few more questions, she conceded. As Ella delved back into more inquiries, Tom's laughter ringed out like music, yet shadows still lingered in the corners of Lily's mind. She was torn between wanting to shield Ella and yearning for a rekindled connection with Tom. Time slipped through her fingers, and while Ella bonded effortlessly, Lily felt adrift on a wave of nostalgia and fear. The familiar ache of love long buried began to surface, brushing against her heart again. Could she allow herself to embrace this? To rediscover parts of herself long lost in the roles of motherhood and solitude? As Ella animatedly engaged Tom with questions about his childhood escapades, Lily felt herself teetering on the edge of a decision, one that could reshape their lives. The spark of hope flickered within her, yet the depth of uncertainty held her captive. Would she take the plunge and trust in the possibility of healing old wounds, or would she pull back and keep those scars hidden? With the fireworks bursting in the sky, illuminating the dark, the weight of choice rested heavily upon her. What if this time around, indeed brought something beautiful out of the past? What if the truth, lurking just out of grasp, was one that would redefine everything? Lily's heart raced as she watched Tom laugh with Ella, the sound wrapping around her in a warm embrace that battled the chill of uncertainty. Moments passed like scenes from an old film, flickering between nostalgia and fear. There, in the glow of fireworks, she felt a spark igniting something long dormant within her. Mom! Did you hear that? Ella's voice cut through the haze. Tom almost capsized the boat. Can you believe it? Her excitement was palpable, a bubbly effervescence that filled the space between them. Yeah, sounds like quite the adventure, Lily replied, forcing a smile as her mind swirled. Could she really let him back into their lives? The thought played like a stubborn song in her head. Just then, Tom turned back to her, his eyes searching, seeking some form of validation or connection, a bridge back to the past. I didn't mean to overshare, he said, a hint of self-consciousness creeping into his smile. I love kids, and she's a natural, you know. His gaze held sincerity, igniting a flicker of something hopeful inside Lily. Ella, bouncing on her toes, leaned closer to Tom. Tell me more. I want to know everything. Lily felt a pang in her chest. This could either be the beginning of a magical reunion or the foundation for a heart-wrenching turmoil. She knew what Tom meant to her, once a mix of love, adventure, and chaos that spiraled into heartbreak. Yet, here he was before them, looking genuine, and connecting with Ella in a way that made her heart expand. Glancing at Ella, who was now nestled against Tom's side, she caught her daughter's wide-eyed wonder and admiration. A mother's instinct tugged at her fiercely, the protective side battle with the yearning for Ella to experience joy, connection, and the kind of stories she had longed for in her own childhood. Okay, one more story, Lily said, stepping closer, trying to find strength in her voice. This was uncharted territory, yet she felt unable to turn away, like she was sailing out to sea, despite the storm clouds on the horizon. Tom's smile widened at her concession as if it was a gift. All right. This one's about a raccoon. He exclaimed, settling onto the curb beside Ella, who practically glowed with excitement. As he began to weave the tale about mischief and adventure, Lily found herself leaning in, too. The glow of the fireworks mirrored the warmth spreading in her chest as she witnessed a bond form between Tom and her daughter, something precious and raw. For a fragmented moment, it felt as if they were a family again, laughing together amidst the chaos of color exploding above, but in the background, doubt drummed steadily at the edges of her happiness. What if this connection was fleeting? What if it clashed with the life they had built separately? Just as the thought settled, Tom turned to her, eyes earnest. I know this is complicated, Lily, he said quietly, his voice almost lost beneath another burst of fireworks. "But I'd love the chance to know you both. If you're okay with it." Lily felt the weight of his words. Wanting to see him without the history clouding her perspective was daunting. What could that mean for them? For Ella? Would she be inviting heartache in the form of rekindled memories that still hurt? Her heart raced at the thought, a mix of hope and trepidation swelling within her. She opened her mouth to respond, then hesitated. What would she choose? Would she embrace this possibility, risking pain to discover joy, or retreat to the safety of solitude? Before she could form an answer, a massive firework exploded in the sky, blinding everyone with its radiant light. And in that moment, with all eyes on the spectacle, Lily felt the pull of decision tighten around her. Could she really take a leap of faith? Or was it wiser to protect the fragile happiness they had carved out for themselves? The sky illuminated with colors as her mind churned with thoughts, each demanding an answer. In that fleeting moment, the choice hung between them, heavy with implications. As the last firework fizzled into the night, Lily stood on the precipice of possibility. What would she decide as her heart raced against the clock of old wounds and new beginnings? The night air hung thick with anticipation as Lily felt the last echo of the fireworks fade into silence. Her heart thudded in her chest, louder than the lingering booms overhead. Tom's gaze held her captive, those familiar eyes searching for something, perhaps reassurance, perhaps hope. Ella's laughter cut through the moment, a joyous sound that reminded Lily of the innocent light she shone in their lives. She glanced at her daughter, who was still entranced by Tom's story, her face aglow with delight. How could something so innocent, so pure, feel so complicated? What do you think? Tom's voice, gentle but firm, brought her back. Lily swallowed, her throat dry. Just the thought of what lay ahead made her stomach twist. There was a part of her that wanted desperately to cling to the memory of the life they all once had together. The warmth of family dinners, the sound of laughter, those beautiful moments picked apart by the sharp edges of time. Yet, looking at Tom now, looking at Ella, she felt a flicker of hope arise, a dare not far from her reach. I think maybe we can try," Lily finally said, her voice steadier than she felt. The words slipped out before doubt could claw them back. She felt the weight of her decision settle like a coat wrapped around her shoulders, heavy but protective. Tom's smile widened in disbelief, and something between them clicked. It felt like the soft snap of a branch breaking beneath the first warmth of spring. His relief was palpable, lighting up his features. "Really?" he asked, almost as if he were afraid to believe her. "Yes," she said, emboldened by her own words. "But we have to take it slow. There's a lot to figure out." Ella clapped, joy radiating from her. "Yay! This is going to be amazing." Watching her daughter dance at the edge of their new reality ignited something within Lily: resolve, excitement, a flicker of possibility that whispered of new beginnings. Yet, in the back of her mind, the shadows of their shared past loomed large. "Slow, yes," Tom agreed, nodding seriously. "I understand. I wouldn't want it any other way." As more fireworks erupted in the sky, their brilliance seemed less important than the quiet moment they shared together. Overhead, bursts of color reflected in Tom's eyes, an image that almost felt like magic. Soon, they joined Ella in her spirited enthusiasm, laughter bubbling up, igniting a sense of connection that felt alive, but beneath the laughter, doubt still curled deep down inside her. Could love truly be redefined? Did their history allow for a second chance, or were they simply setting themselves up for another fall? "Okay, so how do we even start?" Lily asked, feeling the weight of her question settle between them. Tom shifted slightly, looking thoughtful. "Maybe we can have a picnic this weekend. Just the three of us. Something simple, to start." Lily nodded, a small smile creeping onto her lips at the thought. The idea felt sweet, even with the voice of apprehension echoing in her mind. Yet, it was a start, a chance to breathe some new life into their faltered story. As they continued to talk and laugh, they made plans that intertwined hope with hesitation. The night sky was now filled with stars, each shimmering tiny light a reminder of the vast possibilities lying ahead, but just as the conversation flowed smoothly, a sudden thought seized Lily. What if this was all too much too soon? As the warmth of the evening wrapped around them, she grappled with the roller coaster of emotions that churned inside her. Was she truly ready for this leap, or had she opened a door that conjured both joy and fear? Can we really do this? Lily wondered silently, her heart aching with the weight of the past as her thoughts lingered on the future. The lingering question hung in the air, waiting to be answered. Would she find the strength to embrace it all, or would her heart build walls too high to climb? The morning sun peeked through the curtains, bathing the room in a warm golden light. Lily stretched, feeling the cozy weight of the blankets around her, both comforting and restrictive. She turned her head to find Ella sprawled on the floor, her coloring book scattered like confetti around her as she slept soundly. The sight made Lily smile. But today felt different. As she sat up, the decision they made together danced back to the forefront of her mind. A picnic. Simple. Innocent. Full of possibilities. Yet, it felt like an enormous leap. Could she really open her heart again? As she slipped from beneath the covers, Lily's thoughts raced. Across the hall, she could hear Tom bustling in the kitchen, the soft hum of morning chatter filling the air. The sound tugged at something deep inside her, hope mingled with uncertainty. Making her way to the kitchen, she found him flipping pancakes, the sweet scent swirling around her like a warm embrace. Tom looked up, his smile wide and bright. "Morning. Want some?" "Sure, smells amazing." She couldn't help but smile back, a genuine lift in her chest. They settled at the small kitchen table, Ella still asleep in the other room, allowing this moment of peace to stretch out before them. Tom poured syrup over a mountain of pancakes and Lily caught herself wishing for the ease of their past, the little family moments that were drenched in love. "Are you nervous about today?" Tom asked, breaking the silence. His brows furrowed slightly, mirroring her own thoughts. "A little," Lily admitted, looking into her plate. "I guess I'm just afraid." "Of what?" His inquiry was gentle, coaxing her to share. "What if this doesn't work? What if we end up hurting Ella again?" The words spilled out, tinged with the fear she grappled with. Tom leaned back in his chair, contemplating. "I think it's important that we're honest with her. Kids can sense when things aren't right. If we take it slow and focus on her happiness, maybe we can find our footing together." Lily nodded thoughtfully. "You're right. She deserves us to try." After breakfast, they tiptoed around the house, rummaging through the drawers for picnic supplies. Ella finally stirred from her sleep, wandering into the kitchen with messy hair and sleepy eyes. "What is going on?" She yawned. "We're having a picnic today, just the three of us," Tom announced, excitement bubbling in his voice. Ella's face lit up. "Yay! Can I help?" She began collecting plates and napkins, her little hands moving with cheerful determination. As they loaded their car with sandwiches, snacks, and Ella's favorite fruit, the weight of apprehension started to lift off Lily's shoulders. She could feel the sun shining brightly behind her, the way it warmed her skin almost like a promise. Driving to the park, laughter filled the car, and for the first time in what felt like ages, Lily entertained the notion that maybe they could actually make this work. She focused on the rhythm of Tom's voice, the joy of Ella's giggles, each moment layered with warmth and connection. Yet, a new question emerged as they parked the car. What if the magic faded? What if they fought the past instead of embracing the future? "Ready?" Tom turned to her, and she could see the hope written across his face. Taking a deep breath, Lily replied, "I think so." But inside, her heart raced, her thoughts swirling in a chaotic dance of optimism and dread. They stepped out of the car, and she felt the grass beneath her feet, a little tickle of freedom. As they walked towards the picnic area, she noticed a group of children playing nearby. Their laughter rang out, a sound so light that it felt almost foreign to her own ears. Watching their joy, Lily felt a sudden wave of determination. She wanted that for Ella. She wanted joy, but what if the laughter she longed for would leave her heart vulnerable once again? They found a cozy spot beneath a towering oak tree, and as they sat down, Lily felt a ripple of anticipation course through her. This was the moment they'd been waiting for, but as they unfolded their picnic blanket, she couldn't shake the thought. Was it really possible to rewrite their story? The air brimming with laughter and love felt electric, but would it stay? As they settled in, Ella's bright smile captured all their attention, and Lily couldn't help but think that change was upon them. But could she fully surrender to this new beginning, or was she still holding on too tightly to the past? The sun continued its climb, shadows dancing around them. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her dilemma. The day was bright, but uncertainty hummed like a fragile string, ready to snap. What if today changed everything? Would they be ready? The warmth of the sun began caressing Lily's skin as she watched Ella explore their picnic setup. The little girl bounced around like a butterfly, her laughter infectious. Tom was spreading the blanket, his movements graceful and easeful. For a brief moment, the world felt right. As they settled in, Tom reached out to hold Lily's hand and squeezed it gently. "Let us make some memories," he said. His voice was both reassuring and filled with love. Lily felt the smile instinctively forming on her lips. Could this be the beginning of something beautiful? But as she looked at Ella, beaming with excitement, an unsettling thought snuck in: would they be able to keep it together this time? Ella jumped up and down, wildly gesturing to the cozy spread. "Look! I want the pink plate." She grabbed it gleefully. The two adults shared a laugh. "Always the pink plate," Tom teased, his affection for his daughter evident. "Daddy," Ella called out, her eyes twinkling, "can we play a game after we eat?" "Of course," Tom replied, ruffling Ella's hair. "We've got all day. What do you have in mind?" Lily felt a pang of nostalgia, remembering family picnics filled with games and laughter. She shook her head to rid herself of the sadness that threatened to creep in. Right now, she needed to focus on the present. They were here. Together. They munched on sandwiches, exchanging stories and half-baked plans for the future. As Lily enjoyed the moment, she caught Tom's eye. There was something grounding in his gaze. It reminded her of how far they'd come, yet how fragile their connection still felt. "Do you remember that time we got caught in the rain at the park?" Tom said, an amused glint in his eyes. Lily chuckled, remembering the chill of the downpour and the way they laughed until their sides hurt, huddled under a tree. "I was convinced we'd be sick for a week." Ella gasped in delight. "You were so silly. I want to do that too." "Maybe we can," Lily replied, her heart swelling with hope. The laughter flowed easily among them, and the atmosphere felt charged with possibility. But deep down, Lily's insecurities knotted her stomach. Each cheerful moment was laced with the fear of what came next. As Ella finished her last bite, she leapt to her feet. "Let's play tag." The suggestion burst forth like a firecracker. Tom's expression lit up. "You're on!" he exclaimed, standing to join her. Lily watched them as they dashed into the open field, the way Tom and Ella connected so effortlessly. A beam of joy pierced through her doubt. Maybe it was possible. Maybe joy was more than a fleeting thought, it could be an everyday choice. But as laughter echoed around her, shadows flitted in her mind. What if the joy they experienced today was only temporary? What if tomorrow brought back the doubts and fears she struggled to shake? Her body tensed, and she tried to ground herself. Just then, Ella's giggles pierced through her spiraling thoughts as she darted back towards Lily, breathless and sparkling with glee. "Mommy! Come play!" For a second, time stood still. The openness in Ella's eyes melted a piece of that icy fear in Lily's chest. This was more than just a picnic, it was a chance to reclaim their life, for all three of them. Lily gathered her strength, rose to her feet, and laughed. "Okay. I'm in. She took off running after them, allowing herself to get lost in the moment. Her heart raced, not just from running, but from the thrill of letting herself be vulnerable. They played until their sides hurt from laughing, a swirling mix of joy pushing against the shadows of doubt. Yet, somewhere deep inside Lily, a small voice whispered, "What happens when the day is over?" As they paused to catch their breath, she felt Tom sidle up beside her, unspoken questions resting on their shoulders. "Having fun?" he asked, a hopeful smile lingering on his lips. She nodded, but doubt crept back in, wrapping tightly around her heart. "Lily?" "Yeah." She turned to him, unease shadowing her smile. "I'll be here, whatever comes next. We'll face it together." His words sent a rush of warmth through her, but the question still lingered. Could they really navigate the fragile terrain they were on? As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows, the air shimmered with both hope and uncertainty. The picnic had been a spark, but would it be enough to kindle a lasting flame? And just like that, a fresh wave of worry washed over her. What if their journey was only beginning? What if the hardest part was yet to come? She glanced at Ella, who was now chasing Tom again, their squeals filling the air. The love in that moment sang louder than any fear. But as the sun began to set, Lily couldn't ignore the tight knot of anxiety in her stomach. Was this really the start of their new chapter, or just an illusion of happiness before reality hit? As the sun vanished behind the horizon, the sky turned a tinge of orange and purple, like an artist painting hope in the face of concern. Could they find a way to stay together in the shadows lurking ahead? As the last of the sunlight faded and twilight settled over the picnic area, Lily took a deep breath, allowing the mix of emotions to wash over her. She watched Tom and Ella chase each other, their laughter ringing like a melody that filled the air, transforming the space into something magical. It felt like freedom, yet the remnants of doubt still clung to her heart. "Mom!" Ella called, her joy bubbling over like soda fizzing out of a shaken can. "Come on. Join us." There was a childlike innocence in her voice, a spark of pure happiness that tugged at Lily's heartstrings. Lily smiled, her fears momentarily forgotten. She jumped to her feet and joined the playful chase, laughing as she darted after the pair. Tom's laughter intertwined with Ella's, creating a symphony of joy that echoed across the park. For that moment, everything felt right. But as the laughter subsided and they all collapsed onto the grass, out of breath and smiling, the reality of their situation crept back into focus. The sun had set, and soon, the darkness would swallow them whole. Lily felt the familiar weight of apprehension return. "Hey," Tom said softly, leaning closer. "I meant what I said earlier. We'll find our way through this." She could feel the sincerity in his voice, and for a moment, the bond they shared shimmered like the stars twinkling above them. "I know," she replied, her voice steady yet laced with vulnerability. "But it won't be easy." "I never expected it to be," Tom said, his eyes locked onto hers. "We have a long road ahead, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't start." His words sparked something deep within her, a flicker of hope sprouting in the soil of uncertainty. "You're right. And Ella, she deserves this." They glanced over at Ella, who wove her arms around their ankles, looking up at them with wide, curious eyes. "Can we have another adventure tomorrow?" she asked, the exuberance of childhood filling the air. Lily, kneeling beside her, brushed back a stray hair and smiled softly. "Of course we can. Every day is an adventure if we choose to make it one. Just like today." Ella beamed, her cherubic face lit with enthusiasm. "Exactly," Tom affirmed, ruffling her hair. As Lily watched the two of them together, Tom full of warmth, and Ella radiating pure innocence, she felt a shift within. It was a transformative moment, filled with possibilities. The shadows of the past felt less daunting, overshadowed by glimpses of the future they could create together. "Let's take it slow," Lily said, finally voicing her resolution. "Each step counts." Tom nodded, understanding the weight of those words. We'll start with the little things: family dinners, forest walks, stories at bedtime. We'll build from there. Lily's heart swelled. She had spent too many nights burying her emotions, and now, standing with Tom and Ella, she realized she had a choice to embrace love, healing, and growth. It wouldn't erase the past, but it could redefine their futures. The soft sounds of evening settled around them, and as they began to pack up their picnic, laughter echoed among the trees. They worked side by side, gathering plates and blankets, each shared smile brightening the air, weaving threads of connection back into their lives. This was just the start, but it felt monumental. "Lily?" Tom said, hesitating for a moment. They had stepped lightly around the subject, but he had to know. "Are you sure about this?" She met his gaze, and her heart surged with certainty. "Yes, I'm sure. Let us write this next chapter together." As they walked back to the car beneath the blanket of stars, a new understanding enveloped their little family. It felt electrifying, like standing at the edge of a cliff, ready to soar into the unknown. Together, they would navigate the journey ahead, through the storms and the sunlit skies. Lily was ready to embrace the trials and triumphs that awaited them. For the first time in years, she felt whole again. She felt alive, and as they reached the car, a sense of peace settled within her. As the trunk closed with a soft thud, she glanced up at Tom, who was already watching her with a devoted expression. With Ella's laughter ringing in the back seat, she knew her heart had chosen love once again. This was the beginning. Together, as a family. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second. Your support matters.